Hi everyone, welcome back everybody. Today is a beautiful day, beautiful sunny day, and we are recording answers to certain questions that many of you were asking. And I have again a very special guest, somebody who deals with this kind of thing every single day, working with people, working with ladies, working with men, and I'm so excited to have another perspective on this channel. So welcome, Michael.
Thank
How
you
are
for
you?
having me, Veronika. So good to be back.
Thank you. How are you doing today?
Everything is fine. What about you? How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, and I have so many questions for you today.
Perfect.
So what do you think if we talk today about uh, defining the genuinity, how genuine the person is? How do you do that at your profession, and what do you recommend to guys? Because when you meet a girl, sometimes it's very hard for men to understand, is she being interested in him, or is she interested in something she can get from him, or is she just playing a role of some kind?
Sure. Veronika, as I said in my first video, we understand very well that our success as a business relies on the success of our clients. I think it's a very simple rule.
Mhm.
So we have created in our agency, we have created a very no-nonsense approach to this matter. And I understand how important it is for the guys, because when you are embarking on this journey, I mean, of course, you want to feel that you are meeting and dating women who are really into you and not something that you can offer to them. But we have created a very simple system. First of all, we never accept the online applications from the women. It never happens. This also means that we only work with women who are from our city, from Kharkov. It's not a little place by far, but it's also not the biggest city of Ukraine. I think it's perfect because it's a nice place. And I think from the standpoint of a guy, you don't want your girl, your woman to be marrying you just because she's desperate to get out of some little tiny village or little town in Ukraine. And I'm not sure how much your subscribers understand about the little towns of Ukraine, but
Mhm.
they are not like little towns in the US. And so I think Kharkov is perfect because it's a large city. You have a nice, but at the same time you have a nice little town feel to the city. But anyway, we every girl who wants to join the agency has to personally come to our office. There are no exceptions. And they all have to be from Kharkov. When a woman comes to our office, we have a conversation, and it's not just a formal interview. We actually talk to them. We want to get a feel from the lady, and you can understand so much about the person after an hour of conversation, and also by the questions that girls ask, you can understand so much. And also we check the documents of the women. That's also something that we do to make sure that all the vital information is correct and all this stuff. So
Mhm.
we do that. And also the second part, I mean, I'm not gonna, sit here and pretend that I'm some kind of guru who knows exactly what's inside a person's heart or mind. And if somebody tells you that, if somebody tells you, I guarantee you something, this and that, it's very difficult to guarantee something when it's about another person. I don't know what's in somebody else's heart, but we can understand the actions of a person. Whatever is in the mind of a person is expressed through action. So if a girl gives us, even if she became a member of the agency, after that, if she gives us any reason to believe that her intentions are not genuine, we remove her from the agency immediately. I think it's a very simple approach. I don't think it's some kind of strange approach, but it really works. We keep the gallery up to date. We have girls sometimes meet local guys, girls sometimes move to other cities. We immediately remove their profiles. Also, of course, women who meet the guys in our agency, we immediately remove their profiles from the gallery. That's what we do on our side.
Mhm. Well, that sounds very reasonable, and I agree with you that you can make sure about the most vital things, that you know the person, you met them, you know they're not officially married, because some of the
Exactly.
ladies, they actually married and they are on the websites just to make some money, unfortunately. But I also agree that you cannot give 100% guarantee on something as fragile or something as sensitive, as somebody's heart. You can get a feel of a person and ask people who work with people. Very often our intuition, our knowledge of people helps us to make the right decision, to connect people or to give them the right insight, because we kind of feel them through their actions, the way they represent themselves. But sometimes even your best friend after many years may take their back on you. That is something that is just part of life. But you are doing your work in basically screening ladies, in screening and meeting them and getting your personal feel. You can probably tell if the girl come to the agency, and she will ask you, and that's the big question was yesterday on my live stream. Well, so what do I get? What will I get from this?
Yeah.
Like, you know, will I get the gifts? How do you feel about ladies asking for the gifts?
I think it's absolutely unnatural for, I don't know about women in other countries, but in my whole life, I have never met a woman in Ukraine who actually asked for presents. She would, let's put it this way, a woman who cares about the man she's talking to will never ask him for a present, because first of all, it's degrading, it's humiliating towards a woman. No self-respecting woman would ever do that. And secondly, it just means that she doesn't care about this guy. She's using him. And I can say that in our agency, if you go on our website, you will see that in the profiles of the ladies, we don't even put their birth dates there, because we don't want guys to feel pressured that, oh, she has a birthday, so I have to give her some present. We don't even want that. It's a woman comes to our agency because she has a major problem in her life. She's a single woman. And guys who come to our agency have a major problem in their lives. They're single guys. We are a platform that allows like-minded people meet, and there is no place for the, all this fishy stuff. And I mean, we've been in the same city for 20 years now. And of course, people know what we do. So the, girls who are using guys and girls who, whatever you call them, the pro daters, they know about our reputations. They don't even come because they understand there is no gold to dig here. It's just impossible. The first thing she does, first fishy thing she says, she's out like that. It's not even a question. We are called Mordinson. It's my surname. It's also surname of 5 generations of my family who lived in Kharkiv before me. So we have just too much at stake to risk. So that's why it's a no-brainer. If she wants to use guys, if she wants to scam people, I personally feel that there will be consequences. I believe in energy, and if you do something like that, it will definitely return to you in a bad way. But we want no part in that.
Well, it would.
Guys need to be careful, unfortunately, and you have to be careful. It's the reality.
Yeah, and it feels like it would return to them in their profile being deleted. That's the first karma, in them being removed from the base, right?
No. Actually, every once in a while I get messages from girls asking like, tell me how does the chatting work in your agency? And I say there is no chatting. We have like a organic system. A guy sends you a letter, and if you are interested, you can respond. And if you are not interested, you say no. And I already understand what place they're coming from. So I actually tell them, and I have said this in my videos many times, we don't help women to make money. We help them find husbands. And I say this absolutely directly to them. So, and I understand, you know, every once in a while, as I said, I get this kind of messages. So apparently girls, you know, who have some such experience, they are already aware of how this system works with, you know, getting the presents and all this stuff. But, you know,
I think that's a great way to define if the lady is genuine, because if she really, you know, if she's seriously looking for the partner, she's not going to be worrying about the gifts, because it's just like, you know, buying a vehicle and worrying about, you know, what kind of material you're going to have on your seats, or, you know, what kind of model of the, you know, music player you're gonna have inside. You know, these are little things that are part of the big system. You hunting for, not hunting, you are looking to change your life in such a dramatic way. This very meeting may change your life forever. And
absolutely.
so if you focus on what you're gonna get, it's a very short-term gain. And as far as I understand, you are focusing on women who are long-term. They don't care about, you know, scamming somebody into small things, because you define it in the beginning that that's what we do. You're not gonna get paid. You know, you're not gonna get some crazy expensive things. We are not a merchant, but you may find somebody you're looking for.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, Veronika,
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that Ukrainian guys are great at is, you know, the beginning of the relationship. They're super romantic. They give presents. They give flowers. They can, you know, surround a woman. You know, make her feel like the most special person in the world. And but unfortunately, this seems not to last very long time. So women who come to us, they're looking not for the same thing. They're looking for a guy who may not be, you know, in the beginning, he's like all over the place, you know, sending her flowers every day and stuff like that. They're looking for somebody who they can rely on in life, like a husband. Because
Mm-hmm.
what difference does it make how many bouquets he sent to you if he cheats on you? What difference does it make? So
Yes.
I
Yes.
don't think I don't think American guys need to worry about this. We do offer presents on our website, and the guy, if he wants, you know, of course, girls are girls. They like flowers and stuff like that. But but it can never be asked for, because if and general, and not just talking about our agents, just in general, if a Ukrainian woman asks you for money or for present, guys, that's very fishy.
Very, yes. And you know, I totally agree with you. And that is actually an excellent point. It is very true. American men can learn from Russian men how to sweep a girl off her feet. It doesn't matter, you know, if you are in high school, if you are in college, if you're later on. Our men, yes, definitely, they know what they're doing, and they are excellent at that. And, you know, we all, sometimes in life we want a little bit of a fairy tale. Women are kind of well, messed up a little bit their reality, you know, by watching too many fairy tales, and men are great at this. But unfortunately, in our statistics in Slavic countries, men are like this in the beginning when they're courting, when there is honeymoon. But usually as soon as you know, maybe you're pregnant, you're having a child, or some other things happen, very often it no longer looks like fairy tale, and very often men stop doing it altogether, and sometimes they are having other affairs, and
You
that's
know,
just unfortunate.
one wise man said that life is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So the
Mhm.
relationship is not a sprint. So basically, what Ukrainian guys do, they have a short-term goal, and I don't have to say what the goal is. But when you have a beautiful woman and, you know, she's very desirable, you understand what I'm talking about. It's a sprint. It's a 100 meter.
Mhm.
Our clients, both male and female, they are understand that they are in the marathon. You cannot, if you run the first 100 meters of 42 kilometers, even if you are the first one to cover 100 meters, you are very far from reaching the final goal, which is 42 kilometers later. So that's what Ukrainian guys do. And they are very good at this 100 meters. And unfortunately, it has broken many lives. And as you said, you know, women are naive. Ukrainian women, they're so pure. We live in this 21st century, which is crazy. There is so much negativity and skepticism and materialism. There is nothing like being loved by a woman, and there is definitely nothing like being loved by a Ukrainian woman, because she makes you feel like a king every day.
I'm lost for 4 words at the moment, but yes, I do agree with what you said. And Ukrainian women also hopefully learn a little bit about the Western culture, and I'm sure you probably also kind of give them an idea that people are here more relaxed. They are not trying so much to impress you with something right away. But once American man knows that you are exclusive, you know, you are committed, you are engaged, this is when they're not shy to make you feel special. They're not shy to, you know, just being supportive, and they want to give you gifts. And that's, I think, for those of you, my dear followers, who are, you know, asking me very often about the gifts, she should not be asking. It should be your idea. So if you feel so good with a woman that your biggest problem right now is that you want to find what is that you could do that would make your that surprise her and make, you know, she will have butterflies in her stomach and she'll be excited. So it should come from you. If it doesn't come from you, if you feel forced, if you feel almost like, if you don't do this, I'm gonna leave you, this kind of circumstance, that is not a good sign. And I want to ask you a particular question that I was asked last night on the over, and he said that he has been going to Ukraine and enjoying his life over there, you know, going out on dates, doing simple things such as, you know, candies, flowers, perfumes, you know, just lovely compliment gifts, right? But he was told, okay, you just scared me for a moment, but you're here. Okay,
No.
so he was told that unless he purchased some expensive gifts, his intentions are not serious. And we're talking about early dating, so maybe 3-5 dates. And in his experience, the girl would always ask for, you know, maybe the last iPhone or something that is higher monetary value, rather expensive. So he was asking me, is it really true that unless you buy very expensive gifts, you don't have serious intentions?
The short answer is no. The long answer is, you know, run away. It's I mean, as I said before, no self-respecting woman who cares about the guy she's talking to would ever ask for anything. It's just such a, you know, such a degrading thing to do. It's no. And it's definitely not a part of Ukrainian culture. And I mean, when you are married and it's a completely different situation, but after 3-5 dates, you know, I said before that it's actually quite easy to tell when you see you know, somebody who is not genuine, because their hidden agenda manifests, you know, and shows itself. So these girls are so lazy, and that it takes them 3-5 dates to show the real intentions. And the advice to this guy, the man who asked you about this, is to a certain extent follow a very simple rule. Don't do anything for a Ukrainian girl that you wouldn't do for an American girl after 3-5 dates. Are you going to go buy a brand new iPhone for a girl you dated for 3 or 5 times in America? Of course you will not. and why should you do this for a Ukrainian girl? And I understand that it may feel tempting to fall into this, situation and say, show that, you can afford it, but it's not a matter of whether you can afford it. You're just being used. This man is being used.
Yes, I agree. And unfortunately, a lot of girls are, you know, being quote unquote smart, and they say, hey, this is a part of the culture. And we are here to tell you that it's not. And if it's early in the relationship, it's definitely not. I would say that, later on when you are exclusive, you're seeing each other, that's once again would be your thought, oh, maybe I can get you a better computer so we can talk, or maybe I can send you on vacation, maybe we can plan a vacation. Man usually does not need help. He always looking, and he may ask a girl if he, because you may not know some things, but that should come from you and your desire, because you feel that it would be a beautiful thing to do and it's good timing for it. Some men try to impress girls also. Michael, I hope you're still here. We have a little bit of a technical difficulty, but I hope Michael will come back. I sure hope that Michael will come back, but I'm going to say this. This is not natural. You should, if somebody is if the girl gives you an ultimatum that she won't continue relationship with you unless you provide her a gift, that is not a good situation. Once again, if the girl makes an ultimatum that she will not continue with you unless you invest in her, that is not a good situation. So I would definitely recommend to move on from that kind of relationship, because in the long run, that is not the person. So I hope Michael is back. Maybe he's not. He's trying. Michael, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Well, we have some technical difficulties,
Back.
but we are not giving up. Okay, great, you're back. So I want to ask you,
Veronika, before we go on, I have a very interesting story that I want to share with you. One of our former clients, and actually somebody Heinrich from South Africa, he told me once a very funny story. He met a girl in our agency, and they started dating, and so on and so forth. So came the time when they decided to get married, and they were shopping for his wedding suit. And so they went to a store, and he picked a very nice suit, quite expensive suit, and he tried it on, and it looked perfect. He looked very nice, and so he took it off, and then he wanted to buy it. He liked it very much, and he went back to change back to his normal clothes. And when he came back to the register, to the front, whatever you call it, of the shop, and he took out his, he wanted to pay. The lady, the shop assistant said, no, it was paid already. It was paid for already. And he said, who paid? And he says, you're the woman. So his fiance bought him a suit. As I said, being loved by a Ukrainian woman. She didn't, and it wasn't little money for her. It was probably, he told me, it was probably like at least 1 month's worth of salary for her. But she's doing it for a man. She's in marathons. That's her future husband. It's that's what Ukrainian women do.
Yes, very true. They can surprise you too, even though that is a little bit unusual, because usually men kind of pay when it comes to big things. But I think she just wanted to surprise him and make him do something sweet, unexpected. And if you are loved by Ukrainian women, by the way, how you can tell she's genuine? She does little sweet things for you as well. Talking about our client, he also shared with me that when she arrived, she came to see him, she brought an entire suitcase of gifts and souvenirs for him, and he was in total shock. He was very surprised. It was, you know, early on, but it means it's also show, it shows that she thought about it, she cared, and she wanted to do something sweet. You know that feeling when it's like a teddy bear, it's sweet and fuzzy.
Sure.
So it was a big surprise. So it is a part of our culture to bring some souvenirs, some lovely compliments and gifts, and sometimes ladies do that too. That's how you also know she's genuine. When she would also do sweet things for you when you don't even expect, right?
Absolutely. And you have to see how her parents treat him. Uh, they literally invite him to their place every weekend. They want him to come. Her mom, Julia's mom, and
Mm-hmm.
I kid you not, she joined an English school to study English to be able to speak with him, because she
Oh,
was just tired of using Julia as a translator, and it's not always convenient. And she's doing actually well. She's doing well in English, her mom, because she wants to be able to communicate with her son-in-law better. And it's just that's the way it is, you know.
yes. You know, when it's genuine, you're not gonna have a lot of questions.
Yeah. When it's
They,
going right, it feels right. And
yes,
if it doesn't feel right, it's probably not.
it's probably not. All right, that's a great point. I hope we gave you an idea. If you still have questions, please comment them, write them below, comment, and we will consider maybe responding with another video. You are very welcome to share your thoughts. And Michael, thank you for joining me and sharing your perspective on this.
Thank you for having me. And I'm sorry for my bad internet connection.
That is all right. Life is not perfect, is it? Isn't it?
It is.
But we are trying, and that was very valuable. And I hope, gentlemen, that you would reconsider. And once again, if you have concerns, questions, I will put all the information under the video and in description, so you can ask a personal question as well. So thank you so very much, and we will see you very soon.